So the problem that we have here with Team 3 is the definition of profit. So if I go to the profit here and I say edit, you can see that it just says dollar sales minus the number of units times the unit cost from May 1st, 2013 on. And so that does not take into account the price change. So we need to say IFF, that's a let's see, IIF, is that what it is? Yes, an if statement here. And then we're going to say if the date, we could use date ID, or we can use the actual Julian date here, which should be calendar date, is less than, and then we'll put this in as May. That would be 05/01/2013. And we just have to know by looking it up that Tableau takes the data in a hashtag for date. Then we're going to use the old unit cost, which is pre-May 1st. And otherwise we'll use the new one. And I can also put this on 2 lines here so I can see it. And let's see if that works. So dollar sales minus number of units times if the Julian date is less than May 1st, 2013, then we're going to use the old unit cost. Otherwise, we'll use the new unit cost in our calculation. And so let's see how much this changes our calculations when we click on OK. Notice, remember that we are comparing on the left-hand side 2012 and the right-hand side 2013. We'd expect to be some difference. So it doesn't look like there was a whole lot of difference. We saw one line move up, so it looks like, in particular, the pasta sauce became more profitable. So we were dealing with the average profit per transaction. That was for when the promo was on. What happens when the promo is off? Let's just switch that back over here. And then we would have to go back and change the definition back to the old definition in order to see if there's much change. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back to profit, say edit, and let's just take units times the unit cost of May 13th on, get rid of the extra parentheses. Now we're back to the old formula, and let's see how much it changes. Okay, once again, it seems to me that the unit prices mainly have to do with pasta sauces and not maybe with the other 3 commodities. But certainly this is something that might be more apparent when you drill down to lower levels in the data. And it certainly is something that should be called a fatal flaw, because it is in fact something that is hidden from the user, which is an incorrect definition of profit. Okay, so here we have the promo off. I'm going to switch back to promo on here, and we can see that that's quite varied, and we have just the weeks that you showed. And then, and this is after I've changed the profit calculation. Let's make sure that that is the case here. Yes, okay, the updated profit calculation. But what I've also done is I have calculated nope, I got rid of it. Let me go to analysis and let me say create calculated field, and let's get the gross margin percentage. So let's take the sum and let's pull in the profit that we have here, and then divide that by the sum of the dollar sales. Okay, there we go, and that's okay. And then we're going to right click on that and say default properties, change the number format to a percentage. So let's then take our gross margin percentage and replace average profit over here, and we can see how different that is. And actually we need to get rid of this average profit up there, and we can replace that with the gross margin if we want to see the label there. So we have quite a variety here. Now what happens if we pull off the date, and you can see to what extent we do actually have gross margin percentages that are under 0 for most of the weeks when the promos are on, for all the goods where promos are on. And there's quite a bit of variation amongst all the different products. Then I would say the next thing you could do is go to the analytics and say, give me a trend line. Let's make it linear. And you would see that for the pasta sauce, for example, during the last weeks of 2012, we were actually on the increase in terms of our gross margin percentage from the promotions, whereas all the way across 2013, we essentially remained flat, except for one major collapse in week 11 that we would have to investigate. For pastas, we can see that we took a hit probably because of our increased unit costs in 2013. The trend was mildly up in pancake mixes. Our strategy was failing towards the end of 2012. We arrested that and made it a little bit better in 2013. And in syrups, looks like a similar situation to pancake mixes. So just an example of a story that you might tell when you take things one or two steps beyond where you went.